Hi everybody, PincheAls here, and on today's episode we're going to be removing the MK2 headliner, the pillars. So let's get to work because this is PincheAls Garage. So on the previous episode, like I explained earlier, we removed all the, lower portion of the interior. That's being the carpet, the seats, the side covers, so the door cards, and the rest of the carpet on the side. So that's all been removed. So now we're going to be working on the headliner, and we're going to be showing you how to take off the pillars and the visors, mirror, part of the sunroof, and then take the whole thing off from there. During this process, you had to be extremely gentle because this headliner is made out of literally a piece of paper. So if you're going to reuse this headliner in the Mark II, you're going to have to be, like I said, very, very careful. We've already damaged most of it here. You'll see here and here in this corner. We're going to have to do some repair work on that. I don't even know how to do that, but we're going to figure it out later when we get to that step. So let's get to work. So the first thing we're going to do is take off the pillars. And to get to the pillars, right there, you have to remove the seat belt. The seat belt has a little cover on there with a little flathead screwdriver. You want to pry gently on the edge of it and pop it off. And then you'll have the bolt that you're going to need to break loose. It's already loose. Crazy. It's a 17 millimeter. Just leave it hanging, and then you have two screws right here. So with your Phillips, get to that. So that's pillar number one. And you'll see it should be really, really straightforward. Inspect for rust, as always. Since we're going to be repainting the entire inside and out of the car, we're going to need to make sure everything is rust-free. If it's not rust-free, we're going to have to make it rust-free by sanding it down. Now you're going to need to take these oh shit handles. Will be the next thing from this spot. Now, since these are very old, be very gentle with them as best you can. And already I can see some rust. It's not bad. So just a little bit of paint it's going to have to do. And you'll see right up here a little bit of rust on here. It could be just because of the it might not be rust, it might just be the coloring of the glue from the old headliner, but it looks like rust to me, but we'll see when we actually take it all out. If you do see it, when you take the headliner out, we're going to sand it down and then give it a little spritz with paint, and that way that's fine. Once we get all the windows out, we're actually going to get in here and start giving a really, really good scuffing, really good sand down. because we're going to respray the entire inside and out with the same color of the car when we get to that point. So now we're going to work on the other side. Same process. Phillips and a flathead and a 17mm. I just lost my flathead. That's great. Oh, here it is. Like I was saying, give it a little pry in a corner. Just enough to break it loose. Try not to use the screwdriver itself as using all the force, because you can damage the plastic. It's really old. And then again, it'll expose the 2 screws, and I'm missing one, so just 1 screw. Grab it from the top and just pull down, or pull out, but I got snagged on something. There we go. Just stuck to it like glue. So you see, nice and clean pillar, nothing to worry about, nothing crazy, no staining. Besides just, you know, the typical rust from the screws going in. So that's all good. Now remove the handle. I'm going to try to research and see if they make other handles for this car. Be cool to have some nice like chrome handles or something in here. Something different. So now we have this portion done. Now we're going to work our way to the front. So let's get there. Now on the front, we go section by section because I want everybody to see the detail and how to do this, because you're going to do this at home and you want to be safe and you don't want to damage your car while you're at it. So here on the visors, there's 2 screws on this side. One here. But these are going to have to be replaced. They're already cracking. I haven't even done anything to them yet. So hopefully I can hunt down some new visors. There's those 2. And then there's one right here for this, for the little handle for the visor. And then we work our way over to the pillar on the left. It's got 1 screw right here. And then this pillar just pulls out. So just be careful with it. That came right off, but that's pretty straightforward. Nothing crazy. Looks like there's some glue inside here. This windshield was glued in, so it looks like it was recently replaced or resealed. Probably because it had water damage, maybe. We don't know. But I don't see rust, so that's a good sign still. So be happy with that. So next is the other side visor. 2 screws. Very, very straightforward on the right. Oh man, I'm gonna have to track these down. It'd be such a pain to find something like this old, especially in good shape. Or new. I would like to get them new. That's done. Now we're going to do the handle. Now my fear during this process is none of this. Is removing the headliner without destroying it. Like I was telling you, it's literally paper thin, guys. These handles are all missing screws. So it might have been redone. As much as I know about it. Oh, the handle broke. We'll figure it out. It's not bad. Alright. Let's see here. Cool. So the mirror was just one screw. I guess it's a locking screw. Because the mirror just slides on. Which is a really cool feature. Now, let's see if I can get you guys a good view of this. Give me a second here. Now we're on to the cover here. Now remember, I'm learning how to do this all today. This is all my first time doing this, so... Oh, that broke. A little lever right there. Oh, well, hopefully I can find a new one of those. And this one uses an Allen bit right there. So it's got to get that going. So this one uses a T20 Torx, not an Allen. My bad. With all that removed, pull this sucker out. Alright. So now everything's removed. The headliner is still in place because the weather strips, you'll see over here, weather strips are holding the last of it in place. And I saw the pillar on this side too. So we're going to remove this pillar really quick. One Phillips screw right up the top. And then that's it. And you have just your two weather strips you got to pull down on, and then the headliner will pop right out. Now we got to be very, very cautious when we pull headliner out. Actually, 4 weather strips, but the other 2 in the back are being held in. So, we're gonna kind of have to like fandangle a little bit on the back. So I'll show you how to pull out from the front, and then we'll work our way back. So now that I got you guys a good angle here. Remember, we're going to be doing the left and right weather strips. Look at that! Alright, now that we have a nice angle, we'll see what to do. So we pull the weather strip down, just like that, so it's out of the way. Do the same thing on the other side, on the passenger or driver's side. Just like that. Get it out of the way. And then kind of gently, oh shit, it's like glued in here. So give me a second, you're going to pull it down. There's like a glue. I guess whoever did this glued it in place up here. I don't think that was factory. Because this was probably redone. This is going to be one heck of a headliner to remove. So I don't mind ripping the material off because I'm not reusing this material. So yeah, it looks like this headliner was redone once in its life, and they just redid it a little differently than just redoing it and then just slapping it back on, versus looks like they glued it in place. Okay, so this part is done. Oh man, the front's all crunchy. Let's see how they did over here, or what they did. So what I'm doing here is kind of pushing the rubber behind the headliner to see if I can slide it out. So what we're going to have to do is kind of like unglue all of it first from the car. And that looks like what they did is they glued it to the entire roof of the car. So, a lot of fun. We're going to stop in a moment. I'm going to go meet up the wife for lunch. But I'll be right back. Okay, finish this little piece here. Oh man, this is gonna suck so much. Everything else went so well, guys, and now this headline is just so jankified. I'm gonna shun the person who did this. Shun. Alright, well I'm gonna go to lunch. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back from lunch. Let's get back to work. So we're back at cutting this headliner material out. It's been glued in, which really sucks, honestly, because it's going to make it almost impossible to remove without destroying it, which might end up being the case. I'm really disappointed in that, because I don't see a way out of this. Did this really did a number on the glue. Idea on how to remove it without destroying it. It really sucks, because this is a nice headliner, but it's all glued in. Just another added expense I didn't want to add to my build, but I might have to. It's literally just glued in so bad. It just keeps coming apart. Well, I'm going to give you the heads up. If this wasn't glued in, all you had to do is take the pillars off and just slide it out and it'd come right out. That'd be the whole DIY for removing headliners. However, sadly, this headliner was glued into the roof and it doesn't look like it's going to come out anytime soon like a factory headliner, because it's all glued into place where it's not supposed to be glued in, which really sucks, because this is a really nice headliner, or was a really nice headliner. But yeah, it sucks, guys, but as you can see, this is what you get when you buy a $300 car. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. Look, this whole thing's glued in. Just all glued in. It's fucking bullshit. I mean, it's bad. I would have never gotten this out without destroying it. So, this sucks. It really does. Actually breaks my heart a little bit. This was a really nice headliner. So, as you can see, half of it was glued on, other half wasn't, but nothing I could have done about that, unfortunately, because whoever did this headliner just really sucked at doing. Either did really good and too good of a job at making headliners, because he glued it all to the roof, see, that's how it should have been, one piece like that and out, but it was all glued in here, so I had never taken this off without destroying the headliner. That makes me sad. It really does. I wanted this headliner badly. But inspecting everything else looks good. So, I mean, on the positive note, Everything else that's in here looks really, really good. I don't see any rust where it's supposed to be. So all we're going to have to do is just sand things down and start taking things out. So that's pretty much the job for the headliner. Sorry guys, I could have done a better job, but it's something I could not prevent it, unfortunately, since it was all glued in. I said it breaks my heart because I really wanted to save this headliner. So the next thing is you have to get your window crank back on and take this cover off for the sunroof. We'll show you guys how to do that in a little bit. So, but inspect. Make sure you don't see any little bits of rust, watermarks, anything that could give you an issue in the future. Which this window has been replaced because it's got like weather, like a glue in here. So I know this is a new window, or they redid it somehow. Because I don't see any rust, so more likely this window was redone. These little rubber hoses on the ends for the sunroof might need to be replaced. Those are your drainage pipes for the sunroof, so when you get water inside these rails, that's where it drains down to. Those are going to have to probably be replaced. You can get those at Home Depot. Other than that, I don't see anything else that's like very bad. I'm pretty impressed with this car. I'm very, very happy and pleased with it, especially in its condition, and for the $300 I spent on it. Alright guys, let's get to doing the dash. Actually no, the rest of the sunroof.